All right, so it's Sunday, May 7th, 2023, and I'm Larissa, and this is another installment of my video diary. I had to take a break away from Snooty, and I had to come see these drawings, these soon-to-be paintings. I had to come in here and look at them. I had to come in here. She was eating and perking up a little bit and standing, and I go back and forth. Like, this morning, I was thinking, like, oh, this poor chicken, is she suffering? Like, would it be merciful for me to just, kill her? And then I'm like, oh, don't even say such things about your snooty bird. And, like, as a lacto-ovo vegetarian, those animals are I have so much respect for them. And her problem, the egg laying, my heart breaks for her. And as a woman who has issues with ovarian cysts herself, just it's a very complex and layered situation, and I don't like to see her suffering, and it's hard. And then at the same time, I have this work that I'm starting that I am totally absorbed in and feeling incredibly saturated by. And I had to come in here and look at them. So what am I looking at right now? I'm going to do more. I've ordered some paper. These are just done on standard Strathmore drawing paper. And while it's okay, I wasn't expecting them to turn out so nice. I was expecting them to have more of an unfinished quality to them. And I was, happily surprised when they turned out, almost as standalone pieces on their own. And when I set up the paper, I used the drawing paper because it's what I had. I wanted to use Bristol board, but I was out of Bristol board, so that's why I didn't use Bristol board. And if I had used Bristol board, I wouldn't be having the issue that I'm having right now. So, like, when I taped them off, when the tape came off, it tore at the paper. And it was painter's tape, it's painter's tape. So I was a little bit surprised that I didn't have a better release, that the tape was as sticky as it was. But it was an old roll, and that adhesive sometimes becomes stronger for whatever reason on older rolls, especially when you get down close to the center to the end of the tape on the roll, right? So that's bothering me. There's also a couple other things about these particular ones that are bothering me, things that I'm going to change in the painting themselves. So this one here, the perspective is a little bit skewed. For whatever reason, like this is the perspective of somebody who's tall, right? And this is not my perspective. This isn't coming out of my eyeballs, right? So I need to have a wider angle here. And I might end up doing another one just to work out that angle before the perspective of the decking in this image, because right now it looks like it could pass for the bow of a wooden boat. It's not it's not what it is. It's supposed to be like a pier, end of a deck on a pier platform kind of thing. And I was going back and forth about, like, how do I feel about that reading as a boat, and do I want it to read as a boat in the final image? And the answer is no, I don't. But I went back and forth about that, so I'm going to have to work that out. I might have to do a second study for that composition. period. Um, this one, what's bothering me about this one, this is supposed to be an iceberg, and it needs to be closer in the foreground, but I don't want to bring it closer to the edge. So in the final, in the translated image, the water is going to have to go behind it more. So, because this is actually supposed to be much, much bigger than this. This is just closer in the foreground. So that's bothering me. Because as it stands, it looks like 3 icebergs instead of landmass and iceberg, right? And that's what it's supposed to be, landmass, like shoreline behind the iceberg. And the shoreline's actually a very far distance off, but I didn't achieve that. So that's bothering me with that. And then as far as like standing alone pieces down here, this bothers me here, down here where the date is further out from the edge. It comes out from the edge. Because I'm like, why am I, because that thinking about framing and matting, right? Because I wanted to mat right up to the edge of the color on either side, and then just have the signature area be revealed as far as like white surface, paper surface being revealed. But that is going to be problematic on that piece to do that. Also in photographing, because these also read very interestingly to me as illustrations, and almost, you know, reminiscent of like storyboard illustrations for illustrated books. And when I was thinking about that, like that's what made me think, like originally it was just going to be these 4 pieces, but that's what got me thinking, oh, maybe I should do more of these, and then actually do a book with these images, particularly if I can maintain this palette vibration that I'm talking about. So like in these bottom 2 here, the vibration between this like really intense vermilion and the cerulean blue, right? That really works for me. That really works for me. I said to Omar, I said, which one's your favorite? He's like, I think maybe one of the ones on the bottom. I'm like, really? The ones with the dead people in the boats? He's like, oh, those are dead people? I'm like, yeah. The dead people in the boats. Yeah. He doesn't like these 2. I like these 2. I mean, he didn't say he didn't like them, but he wouldn't offer me any feedback on them at all, which tells me he doesn't like them. He had a strong reaction to them, and he didn't want to talk about it. He never wants to tell me why he doesn't like my work. Like, he has no problem telling me why like, if we go to the museum or whatever, he has no problem telling me why he doesn't like other people's work. But he doesn't like telling me why he doesn't like my work, and I don't understand that. I wish he would, like, because it really, I'm not offended at all. Like, when somebody tells me they don't like something I've made, that's extremely compelling to me, because I don't make art for people to like it at all. That's not part of my criterion process, right? Like, this isn't a decorative thing where I want people to be like, oh yeah, I definitely want that hanging in my house, right? Like, I'm just as pleased with somebody being disturbed by imagery or by something I make as somebody being pleased by it. And it irks me that he won't tell me why he doesn't like work of mine when he doesn't like it. And it's not often that he doesn't like something that I've made. So, like, I'm curious why he was kind of put off by these 2 images, but compelled to these ones. Like, is it just a matter of color palette? Because, you know, the black and the white in this is the predominant. That's the visual vibration, the positive, negative kind of thing. And there's some other colors in there, but that's not. There's some other colors other than vermilion and cerulean in these ones too. But that's the predominant. That's the vibration. That's where the vibration is being produced, is in the juxtaposition of those two colors. And so here it's the same thing with the black and the white. It's, you know, I'm really pleased with the underwater reveal of the iceberg underwater. I like that. I like the way that turned out well, and that works really well. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to translate that into the painting. And I also like the glow of the reflection of the sunshine from off of the surface of the land masses. I think that works really, really, really well. I'm wondering, like, so it has this. I've used blues and grays in here, but if I'm going to stick with that yellow, which I really like, I might have to go with something that's a little more purple in the water, but that's not what the image was in my dream. So these are images from dreams that I've had. These two or these four are from two recent dreams that I've had. But I have a number of images from dreams over the years, and I think they would make really, really compelling pieces after producing these four images. So these are the things I'm thinking about. And so how am I going to feel putting them on Bristol board and having these first four, the paper not being the quality that I wish they were now, right? Like, I mean, this is just, this isn't a super high quality drawing paper either. It's like, it's like student grade paper, and that upsets me. Like I said, it's what I had. I was just using material that I had. So, anyway. The Bristol board I ordered, I think, is bigger than this too, which will work well. So that's the other thing. I want to keep these images and subsequent images 10 inches by 10 inches. But I like the idea of having a larger piece of paper to place that 10 inch by 10 inch square inside, and then working some of them into large square canvases, which is going to be expensive. Like, that canvas, I got it on sale and it was like $90. Ugh. And do I want to produce all of these images first before I start painting at all? Like, or do I want to work simultaneously? Do I want to be working simultaneously on a painting and the studies while, I don't know. Yeah, and I have to look at my pigments because, like, the red, the vermilion, I need to get some vermilion. Although I might be able to achieve that with the cadmium colors. I don't know. I might be able to achieve that with the cadmium, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to need to get some vermilion pigment. So I have to start looking at pigments, dry pigments. And neither Utrecht or Blick seems to have the dry pigments. So I don't know. I might probably buy directly from a manufacturer. They're so hard to find. Anyway, such is life, right? Such is life.